Good evening, people. As always, the old school show with the real ones. No bullshitters here, the ones that really know Arsenal. DJB is not going to be here tonight. Unfortunately, he's got a family emergency, so big up to DJB. Hope everything goes well, my friend. Anyway, let's get into this. Shano, I watched your stream earlier this morning. The Irish breakfast. I love that show. I love it. It's brilliant. How you doing, my friend?
Yeah, all good. Just got home there from about half an hour ago from picking the kids up from school. They're having their dinner now, and they're all set. So yeah, looking forward to sitting down and having a good old chat with yourself and Kenny Ken, and big up to DJB, of course. Hopefully everything works out well for him, but big up to DJ and of course the wonderful chat. But glad to be here, man, as always.
As always. Smash the likes up, people, as you join. You know, it does help the channel, does get the traction out. The algorithm at the moment on YouTube is absolutely shocking. Don't know they're not putting notifications out. The views are shit. I don't know what's going down. But anyway, Kenny Ken, how you doing, my brother?
Well, yeah, it's just always pick up your point. I've noticed that it seems like all the channels that all the views for some reason on shows that get really good views, all the good views just seem to be very low. I don't know if I've begun to notice that as well. I don't know what YouTube is doing, and maybe they're not notifying people enough and getting the message out there, which I find a bit weird. And it's happening to even like the main channel AFTV. So it's not just your channel. It's every channel it's happening to. Yeah. I'm good. I'm good. The most importantly is that we've won games. You know, think about it. We won. It was a good week for Arsenal. 4 goals, no goals conceded. Didn't have to kind of break a sweat so I'm all good. And there's talking points, but they're not catastrophic. Unfortunately, injuries to the captain again. That's not good.
Good segue there, Kenny. First point I want to bring up here. Is there an injury crisis at Arsenal? Now, Shane, right. We've had players in and players go out. We've lost Odegaard again from an MCL. And that's not good. Never want to see a player go down.
No.
Naughty Nucky, knock on the knee. Looked innocuous at the time, but it's obviously more than that. He went down straight away, holding his knee, got up. Personally, for me, he should have been hooked straight away, knowing what's going down. It seems to be, mate. I don't know. It seems to be a virus at Arsenal that we keep getting innocuous injuries, and I question, why is this? Is it down to the training? Is it down to we train physically too much in training? I don't know, mate. Give me your view.
Yeah, well, we can only go by the information we get. So the things I've heard, Matt Wakey in his first interview said he's never had training this intense before. Hincapie, I think, had missed 50 days or something in his whole career beforehand. He was injured straight away. Norgard was injured straight away with the training. Most of them, apart from the likes of the Odegaard one, are fatigue injuries. They're not. The Odegaard's one was a clash. I understand they happen, but he was made to play on twice. He sat down and then he was made to play on again. Sat down, and people say, "Oh well, he's telling the manager, he's but don't take a risk." There's 5 subs these days, Jez. There's 5 subs. There's no need to risk players anymore. You get 5 substitutions. You can make and if you make one before half time, you still get the 3 periods of it in the second half. So there's no excuse for it. My stance on this is very, very strong, and it all points at the manager. Every bit of it points at the manager, right? And this has nothing to do with, you just don't like him, all of that. He came out recently and he started going on about players fight with their wives and then they don't sleep for 3 days and then they get injured. I mean, it's just the last desperate attempt of someone. And then when you see someone this morning put me on to Tom Canton talking about what Arteta said, and he's saying this is genius, perfect reason why the injuries happen, cortisone levels with stress and all this. He was just talking absolute gibberish, right? Absolute gibberish. And you could see it in his eyes. He was thinking, how do I come up with a way to defend the injuries after what this manager has said. And because he says it with what he always does, and they all do it, Semi and all do it as well. After they try and explain away this manager's faults, they finish it with and if you don't understand it, then it's your problem sort of thing. They don't say it in those words, but what they're telling you is if you don't understand what he's doing, then that's your problem. This guy, we can go through the list of times he has physically pushed players back out on the pitch, partly when he did his hamstring. He made Ben White play for 3 months when he needed knee surgery. Timber came out and said that he couldn't even walk coming up to the PSG game, made him play. The list goes on and on and on and on. Declan Rice's back is still at him. We saw him go down with it again. That was all last season. He played with a broken toe last season. And they can blame the pitch. Oh, it was built in a car park, all of that stuff. I don't want to hear it. Arsenal have one of the most top-of-the-range, state-of-the-art training facilities. But the intensity of the training is known to be crazy. I mean, Havertz did his hamstring in warm weather training. Right? He tore it at grade 3, which was revealed as intensive training again. So we look at the way the amount of ground these players cover. I think last season, most of our first 11 were up around the 3,000s in kilometers covered, where all the Man Cities and all their best players were nearly half of that. Right. So say it was injuries, you can say it was whatever, but the same players get flogged. I mean, Saka played for 90 minutes. He played the whole match at the week. There was no need for him to play the whole match. He has 5 subs. He's done it to Saka before. So the same players like Saka, Rice, Gabriel, Saliba, Timber, they will just always play. They will always play. Odegaard, when he's fit, will always play. They'll be lucky to get a little rest here and there in the League Cup. So but look, there's collision injuries. I understand that. Sometimes a player comes in, they smack these. But the thing with the Odegaard one is, people are saying, oh, it was a collision injury. Okay, so maybe he would have been out for a while. But one thing I can guarantee you is that playing on for 15 minutes certainly would make it worse. It has to make it worse. It can't not make it worse. If he did ligament damage and then played on, it has to make it worse. So there's points where you can firmly point your finger at the manager and he has no defense, pushing players back out on the pitch, not rotating, intensive training. Yes, there's going to be variables where people get injured because of, it's just one of those things, or they turn too quickly or whatever the case may be. But he's making up excuses for Gabriel's injury. Oh, he was chasing Traore. If he had been chasing Smith Rowe, he wouldn't have done his hamstring. Right, but if he's tracking back when the ball gets played over the top, he's going to be at full pelt regardless of who he's chasing. He's not going to slow down because he's chasing. So when the excuses are coming out, there's an issue. Now the whole thing on the internet is that Saka ends every game limping. And he does, because he gets run into the ground. You know what I mean? So he does end every game limping. So I pointed firmly at the manager. It's not a vendetta. It's not an agenda. It's not whatever you call it. This amount of injuries, this number of, and this velocity of them, and all of them, 90% of them being fatigue injuries, hamstring, groin, muscles. It can't be luck. Right, it can't be. It has to be. There has to be a core problem to it. And when he's coming out and making every excuse under the sun, except saying, "Or maybe I have to look at myself," then you know it. You know that it's down to him. So I point my finger firmly at him. That's his job, is to protect these players, and he doesn't rotate them. He doesn't give them enough minutes off. And I put it firmly on him. And they're not going to stop. We called it in the summer. How could we call it in the summer that all the players that are injured are getting injured? So, I pointed firmly at him and his team, obviously, but I pointed firmly at the manager.
Yeah, I was very annoyed the other day in that game against West Ham. He should have just hooked him straight away. You can see he's holding his knee.
Yep.
Right, he looked in real pain. I'm thinking, right, okay, there you go, you've done. Get you off, get you down the tunnel. Let's get the physios looking at you. Right, let's get this sorted out right here, right now. Now, I've started a comment which I'm going to come back to. I think it's quite important. Cameron, yes, Jezza, how are we doing? Big up to Cameron, man. Thanks for joining us always. Paul Nash said big love to DJB. Yeah. He'll be all right, mate. He's got some family stuff going down tonight. So yeah, big up to DJB. Now the thing is, Kenny, this is just happening too much. We seem to be losing. It seems to be that we drop players like we're dropping a horse draws. I mean, it's just ridiculous what we're doing here. This is now the second time this season Odegaard's gone down. And
Third, yeah.
Oh, third, yes, right. You're right, yeah, you're third. So why? So I'm going to ask you this question, then, mate. Right? Is he being brought back too quickly from injury that is putting stress on something else to cause another injury?
I think the problem is that, you know, when you play any kind of football, and I mean any kind of football, and you come back from a serious injury, you're always going to be susceptible, not to the injury in the same area, but to different parts of your leg, especially when it's a muscle injuries, because it's you the way they construct, you know, the leg, or, you know, construct the, you know, the muscles, it means you've got to work in a different area. So for instance, if you're doing light training, you're protecting the actual muscle, the actual injured area, so you actually compensating on the other side. And then when it comes stronger, you're going again. So there's always going to be problems. But look, let's face it, we're going to see more injuries, not just at Arsenal, all those other clubs, because we're playing a lot more football than we've been used to. You know, to the extent that, and the squads are a lot bigger as well. And, you know, the top players will be playing the top competitions. The Champions League's expanded. You know, the FA Cup's important. Not so much in the earlier rounds, but when you get to the quarterfinals onwards, you're playing your best team. You get to the cup final of the Carabao, you're playing your best team. So that's a lot of matches. And let's not forget international matches as well. They got a lot of them. You know, they've got World Cup qualifiers sandwiched with friendlies, and now because you want ranking points for the World Cup. For the World Cup playoffs or European Cup playoffs, you've got to do well in the Nations League. So the amount of football we get that's going to be played, then we've had the World Club Championships. Injuries are going to happen. And of course, if you're talking about Arsenal, yeah, Arsenal have always, you know, training, even going back to like the Wenger days, you train as you play. So of course, training is going to be intense. You go into the match. And modern managers now, especially the head coaches, if you're good in training, you've got a good chance of getting selected for matches. So you have to put it all in your training. None of this protecting injuries, not going in hard. So it's all a combination. But a lot of it's to do with the manager as well, because he needs his best team out there. You know, so he is going to build a trust. You know, he's going to build some trust with some players. So if Odegaard, his captain, says, "Oh, give me 10 minutes," he's going to give Odegaard 10 minutes because Odegaard's not letting him down performance-wise. Same with Saliba at Anfield. The logical thing was to tell Saliba, "No, you can't play," but Saliba wants to play because it's Liverpool. It's a shootout for the title, even though it's the third game. Arteta should have been much more proactive and must have said, "Put the team first." But again, he's trusted the player. So we got so many of these situations where it all, you know, like is a combination. But it's not just us. Liverpool have had injuries. Man City have had an injury to Rodri. Came back from a long-term knee injury. Brentford comes off with hamstring. Different area field. John Stones injured, plays injured. It's football in general now.
Seems to be, mate. It seems to be. But I'll start a comment which I thought was relevant. I was going to talk about this later on, but we'll talk about it now. Right? I think this is quite important. Members Quimmer said, "So, Jez, Arsenal might be moving to Wembley. Did Spurs do the same thing? They were building a new ground." Well, no, mate, because they built the new White Hart Lane next to the old White Hart Lane, a bit like, not adjacent, but that's what Arsenal did with Ashburton Grove compared to Highbury. The building was built 100, well, what is it? I did do this once, 150 metres away. So, no, but now I think this is quite interesting, actually. There's a talk of this expansion of the ground. £200 million, something like that. That they're going to expand the grounds to 70,000 seater. which it probably needs because the amount of tickets that people demand week in, week out. So now the thing is, though, guys, Shano, we remember Champions League under Wenger. We couldn't play at Highbury because the UEFA deemed the pitch wasn't wide enough and didn't meet the UEFA spec. So we had to go and play at home at Wembley. And then a couple of seasons that was, I think. And then it was deemed that the front 5 rows of seats were to be blocked off. God knows why. I never understood that. But we couldn't make the pitch any bigger. But UEFA allowed us to put blanked off 5 rows of seats. Kenny, you remember that at home?
Oh, definitely. I think what was happening is that with Highbury is that, in essence, it benefited a lot in terms of the games, but I suppose it was too small for top class football. You know, Arsene Wenger felt that when he first became, and when we started getting players with a lot of pace, like you Overmars, you had him, and you were Anelkas, it was a case where Arsenal needed a much bigger pitch. And so that was a case of moving new ground. But Arsenal's fascination with Wembley is nothing new. David Dean was determined to move us to Wembley in order to save costs, in order to help with our transfer budget. You know, as much as you want to get a bigger Arsenal fan than him, and he's a man of great tradition. But the situation was, he wanted Arsenal to compete with Man United in terms of bringing in revenue. So yeah, he was determined to move us to Wembley for us to buy it. So this proposed move to Wembley is not a shock. You know, it's a case of.
And he did it.
Well, yeah, when we played in Europe, it didn't, because simple reason is that it wasn't our home, was it? It was like it wasn't a home game when we played in Europe. You know, come on, you're playing Barcelona, Fiorentina, Solna. You know, players like Kiev, Lens, Panathinaikos, all those sort of teams. They were like, bloody hell, Wembley, and it was packed as well.
Exactly, that's the point.
They would have loved it, but the situation is that Spurs did it last season because of did it from 2017 up until mid 2019, and you know it's the only way you can satisfy demand. You know, the alternative is we share the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium with them. Do you want to share with Spurs? That's the alternative. No. So the only alternative, in order to satisfy the demand for tickets and also to satisfy the existing members, is to move to Wembley. We don't want to move to Twickenham because that's too far out in southwest London. It probably suit Chelsea and not us. So Wembley's the next port of call.
Yeah, but the thing is, we did actually play at White Hart Lane, didn't we, after World War II?
Yeah, we did, but the situation is Spurs would be.
I want to.
Yeah,
I don't.
I'm sure Spurs will be more than happy to have us and charge us top dollar, but I don't think our fans will want to go there.
No, you can imagine it, mate. You know what I mean? I don't think the Armoury would do too well. I don't think the club shop at White Hart Lane would do too well with Arsenal. Shane, give me your opinion on this, mate, because it seems a bit of a weird one to me that if they're next season going to expand the ground, you know, make it taller, right? The question to me is this, right? My question to you is this, rather. Why the hell didn't they do it in the first place? They had the money to do it.
Yeah.
Why did they do it then? Why did they not make it a 75,000 seat stadium when they built the bloody place? Because this to me is bullshit. It's going to cost £200 million, right? That building the stadium, right, was what, 300 and something? Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think it was originally quoted at 200 and something, but it ended up costing close to 400. I think I could be wrong. It's in and around. It did end up costing a lot more than it was originally set out.
All big builds go over budget. We know that,
yeah.
Right? Yeah. Right, we know that. But so here we are now again, adding on what? How many? So it's right now. It's what, 67,000 there or thereabouts. Is that Kenny? Tell me if I'm wrong.
What we got now is we're just over 60,000. We've been trying. We've been trying to buy 60. We wanted to put our capacity up by 61, another 1,000, and fans were consulted about moving seats whilst we did the work. But this new thing about expanding the Emirates, to 10,000 is something unheard today. But what I will say is that anything that will help football clubs make money, they'll take it with both hands. There's talk. You all talk about Old Trafford. Look what they did to Anfield. They expanded that. That's all about money. But I can assure you that any normal fans thinking that it's going to benefit them are going to be mistaken. That I say it categorically. Me and you, Shane, do not make the club any money whatsoever. The people who are going to make the club money are going to be the corporates and the businessmen. They're the ones, because it's a knock-on effect. They can bring networking opportunities, such as more sponsorships to the club. So they bring the money and the contacts and the networking. So people like us who are sure thing it's not going to benefit us. The club will tell us it will meet the demand of tickets for obviously fans who can't go, especially local people. And who knows? Maybe a small percentage of the extra tickets will go to local fans around the Islington area, but it's only going to be a percentage. We're lucky, probably 5 to 10%. If we're lucky, the others will go to the whole corporates.
Yep. And it's only 10,000 seats extra, isn't it? It's only gone up to 70,000. I think it's not a massive expansion. Like, it's not a huge expansion.
Hendon Gooner's got a point about Islington Council. Islington Council, in terms of they don't really like giving out late licenses, because you think about the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, when they have boxing matches, obviously boxing fights, which I've been to, they have gone, Harrogate Council in terms of late licenses are a lot more, like I said, laissez-faire than Islington. So yeah, Hendon Gooner's right. They did restrict the crowd size, and to a certain extent, I don't know what Islington Council's views are going to be like with this one, but the thought about the reason why you build these modern grounds is because you expand. You don't have to move. So I don't know what Islington Council are going to do about it, but I'm sure there'll be a lot of non-stop wink, and Arsenal win this. Islington Council will make choking gestures about local residents, but where it's situated now, I don't think local residents will have no issue whatsoever, because of it's on the back of Drayton Park. It's on the sort of front, the arse end of Halsey Road, so it shouldn't be an issue. But I suppose you've got Holloway Road, you've got the extra 10,000 people coming on, and you're talking about Finsbury Park around the corner, and Gillespie Road, Arsenal Station. It is going to be an issue, but if Wembley can cope, Islington should cope, because I think it's a good opportunity for the council to get more fans in. But you and I know the corporates are the ones that bring the money in.
That's a very good point. I'm just going to bring this up. Right? I said to you last night, I was looking at ticket prices for Arsenal Wolves, right, up in the gods in the stadium. Stupid money, stupid prices. Spoke to a few guys today. We thought we would have a meet up, Christmas do, go to the game and everything. And there's a lot of these guys, right? Then they still live around Islington. And they said, no, I'm not paying that. I'm not paying that money to watch this dross football. Now, these guys gone man and boy, a bit like me. And they're saying no. So, chatting to my mate John, the guy I go on his boat with, go sea fishing, right? He's the opposing granddad to my grandson. It's his boy's son, right? Now, he's an executive at American Express. So when I go to Brighton, I get corporate with him because he's a corporate member. He's quite high ranking in American Express in Brighton at their home. That's their main office in the UK. So he said, I said to him today, we were talking about doing a fishing trip. And I said, "Oh, he said, do you fancy going to Boxing Day, Kenny? You hate it. You hate it. Boxing Day game, right? Arsenal Brighton." He said, "You fancy going?" I said, "Well, how much is the ticket?" And he said, "Well, we can't get corporate away, but I'll look up ticket prices on Boxing Day." This is Boxing Day, right? Boxing Day. Arsenal Brighton, Boxing Day, right? Not executive, nothing like that. £165. £165. Me and him, right, and the grandson. I don't know how much the grandson would be. It'd be like less than that, obviously. But maybe not. £165, Kenny. Shame. I mean, that is disgusting, man.
Yeah, the prices are crazy, but that's, you know, and when they do these new seats and the stadium gets expanded, like Kenny said, the working man won't really be included in it. Like he said, it'll be a token gesture given out, and the rest of them will be the corporate seats, because the corporate seats are where the money is. But yeah, look, the prices nowadays, and like Kyle Walsh has said it before as well, that people say, like, you know, you don't get over to, we get over to plenty of games, but like I went over to the Fulham game. The last game I went to was the Fulham game with the missus, and with flights and hotels and everything, you're touching £1,000 like to go over for a match. You know what I mean? For one match, the ticket's crazy price, the food there's crazy price. If she wanted to buy it, something in the Armory, and it's crazy price. The rug is sort of being pulled out from underneath the average fan, which is what they want. That's across the board, by the way, in England. That's like, especially in the top division or for the top clubs, it's sort of get rid of the regular fan. They'd love to get rid of the season ticket holders as well. I mean, if they were selling those tickets on their own, they'd make more. People come over for one day and go to the Armory. But the prices have always been an issue. For me, expanding the stadium isn't a problem if it doesn't affect future transfer windows, which it will. You know, it has to. You know what I mean? So it will affect the team. So it makes me even more angry that the last sort of big summer that we're going to have for a long, long time was given to this manager. You know what I mean? I think that if they were going to go this way, they should have got someone in, a born winner, a proven winner, and say, we're going to do the whole thing this way. Let him get in his players and go from there. This now could be, we could finish the season with, oh, well, we're going to play our games at Wembley. We're going to build onto the stadium. The manager's gone. We're getting in a new manager. And it's just pandemonium again. It's just, it seems to be the timing, like this club always. The timing is just wrong. It's all wrong. We always get the timing wrong with everything. Like you've said it before, Jez, every time that we've had a good period, we don't invest. We don't back it up. And you know what I mean? All through our history, not just under this manager. We've always done it. Our timing is always just off. And to me, this stadium expansion just seems like the wrong time. I'd like to maybe win something and then do it. Maybe they're putting all their eggs in one basket and thinking that he's going to win this season, and then we can do it and everybody be happy. And just like like Kenny said before about moving to the Emirates, nobody took it into account because we were just buzzing off how good Arsenal were. We just thought, well, it doesn't matter. We'll move. Everything's great. Everything works out. Everything we do works out. This is going to work out as well. So yeah, look, the prices they're going to be on the joke at this point. And it is, you know, that there is a huge jump from sort of lower teams to the top teams. But like Fulham are right up there with the most expensive tickets as well, aren't they? I think Fulham's tickets are up there with ours. You know what I mean? So it does go across the board. But yeah, the prices, I don't see a time when it will ever be addressed. Why would it? There's money there and people are willing to pay it. And as the likes of DJB have said before, when someone says, oh, if you're miserable going, why don't you give up your ticket? Well, number one, you know, it's his choice if he goes or not. He pays for a season. He can go if he wants to go. And he stays till the end, bar one game in his entire life. So, I mean, you can shut up about that. But also, he knows that if he gives up a season, it's snapped up like that. Like Arsenal know the demand that they could go 100,000 seater and sell out every week. Not a problem. Not a problem. You know, so if they are going to expand it, I don't know if it's a planning permission reason or what it is that why they haven't gone more now, just get it done more, go to 80,000. Obviously, it's something to do with planning permission or to do with not possible, physically not possible to build onto it. But all that effort for an extra 10,000 seats seems like a strange one to me. Oh, for just 10,000 seats. If it was a 20,000 add-on or something, like, oh, okay, it's going to pay it off in the long run. But 10,000 just seems weird to me. It seems like a lot of hassle for a 10,000 seat extension to me. But that's just my opinion.
Can't do any more. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a structural engineer.
It has to be something like that, though, Jez, doesn't it? Like, it's just physically you can't do more by law or something. It has to be something like that, doesn't it?
You know, the actual groundworks, foundations, if you want to put it that way. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works. Maybe the steel work would not be able to take more than that. Now that is now look, come on, right? As football progresses, it's going to get bigger and bigger. We've seen it, like all of us here in the chat, we've all seen it in the last 20 years, right? How it's expanded, got bigger. And there was a comment there which why with football being so big in England, why have we not got 100,000 seater stadiums?
Well, that's simple though. I think we have to be honest with ourselves. There's only one club in this country that can suitably, confidently house with ease 100,000 fans, and that's Man United. We don't like to see it. Man City fans wouldn't like to hear it. Liverpool fans will hate the thought of that. But it's actually quite true because Man United just, regardless of, you look at them now, you can laugh all you want about them being the joke of all jokes, but I calculated in the last few years they've been to 5 finals. Sitting in the 12 years since Sir Alex has left, they've been in 9 finals. You know, the demands for tickets is just as high as it was before. You know, they do fill the 75,000 fans at Old Trafford comfortably. Win, draw, lose, hitting the boost. They always do it. And 100,000, the 100K, they'll easily do it. At Arsenal, I'm not convinced that despite the fact we've got a lot of demand and despite the fact that we're getting a bigger club, I don't think we can get 100,000 fans in. 70's about right at Arsenal. 80's probably a push, but Man United, I don't think people realise how big Man United are until you go to a Man United game as an away fan, or you're just in Manchester, round the corner from the ground, and you see the people, you see who were there. I was in Manchester to watch a boxing fight, between Joe Joyce and Herkovich. We stayed in Salford, and the hotel was packed with people from all over the world to come and watch Man United. All over the world.
Well, they are a massive world club.
They're massive. But, in terms of Arsenal, can we do it? Well, no. Reason why is because we've got competition for other London clubs, Chelsea especially. So that's the situation. Too many London clubs in the city.
It's close proximity, isn't it? That's the problem.
And they're close as well. And if you're a tourist and you want to go off the West End, you can either go down the Victoria line or Piccadilly line for Arsenal, or if you can go to Chelsea, go via the Piccadilly line and get them to the District line at Chelsea. So, and Chelsea's got that kind of la-di-da.
Well, yeah, it's like
that we don't have.
Posh round there, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the thing is, Man United have talked, haven't they, about building a brand new stadium adjacent. I mean, if you've ever been to Old Trafford, there's a massive area of vacant land. It's all car parking, basically. They're talking about building 100,000 seater stadium there, which it probably needs because Old Trafford is basically falling down. I mean, I haven't been there. Last time I went to Old Trafford was 2016, 17, and it's a mess. It's a mess, and it does need serious refurbishment. But hey, you know, you got to think of what the owners think and say, well, rather than refurb this place, let's build a new one like Tottenham, right next door, brand new stadium, modern facilities, everything is 100%. Knock that old one down, and then basically you haven't really moved, have you? Because Tottenham, and they never really moved. They haven't. I mean, they're adjacent. I mean, I've never been privileged to go to the new Tottenham ground. Hopefully, one day I will. But we moved from Highbury across and down to Ashburton, and that was. I think the difference there is we lost a lot of love in the community around the old Highbury. It's surrounded. You all know, but anyway, that's another story for another day. But let's get on to this one then. Right. Jesus, 30 million is up for sale in January. West Ham, Everton are interested, Shano. Time to go in it. I mean, we bought in 45 million.
Yeah.
So we know we're not going to get 45 million back. Personally, Shano, I reckon we struggle to get 30 personally.
No, we ain't getting 30 from him. We ain't getting 30 from him unless it's sort of one of those, you know, and a team like that would be mad to play. I think the only way you'd get a 30 million would be, it'll be like 15 up front. And if he plays a certain amount of games, they'll, you know, if he gets to 40 games, they'll give another 5 million. And because he's just so injury prone, and it gets to a point with players that are injury prone that, like Kenny was saying, like if you've injured different parts of your body, if you like, I've had serious injuries to my legs. I did my kneecap in, I put it around the back of my leg and stuff like that, and I started getting injuries then in my other leg because you're compensating, and you know, and I know they have all the best doctors and all the best this and the best that, but if we get, you know what, there was a stage when we were saying during the summer that we'd be happy if they just ripped up his contract to get rid of his wages. You know what I mean? Because he's on what, 265 a week or something like that. You're looking at £1 million a month that's just being dropped on him. I've always liked Jesus as a player. I think he's got heart. I think he's got skill. He's just not he's not someone that you want, you know, getting on the end of a chance when you need a goal in the last minute, because he'll find a way to take an extra touch or he's a bit of a luxury player. I know that just being kind of earlier on today that Semi who was saying that Zinchenko and Jesus have to go down as two of our best signings. I wouldn't go that far. I know they were brought in for the whole winning mentality and stuff like that, and it nearly worked. But if we could get, to me, any money, once his wages is gone, that's the big thing. I just don't want to see a loan where we pay most of his wage and it's on us. If we can get shot of him, fine, great. The only thing is that if you could get him fit, I mean, firing fit, I don't know if it's possible, but he'd instantly become one of our better left wingers. You know, just because we're so weak in that position, it could be that sort of, it's like a new signing boost that you get. Now that's in the movies, that's how it would work. He'd come back, but we know that he'll come back at Christmas. If we don't sell him, he'll play 3 or 4 games and he'll break down again, because that's just the way he is now. But I think it would be good for him if Everton came in, go work under Moyes. He gets the best out of his attacking players, regardless of what people think of him. I think he gets the best out of his attacking players. But I don't know if he'd sign for a club like West Ham permanently. That would be my only issue. I think he'd only go on loan in case they go down, or you know. So if we can get any money for him at all, Jez, I'd be happy. And I mean, even the 10 million for me would do it. It's about the wage for me. 265 K a week is a lot of wage for someone that barely plays. So if we can get rid of him, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I'd wish him well. I don't hold any ill will against him. He's one of those sort of cult heroes. He tries whenever he plays. He has some magic moments, but he's just not the way forward. He's not the way forward. If you want to win leagues, you can't be dependent on your better players to stay fit. And he's not even one of our better players anymore. So it would be a thanks for your service, but good luck for me. But if we can get any money from it all, I'll be happy, Jez. Any money.
Do you know how I classify him? Right. I've got a classic car, you know that. And I classify him as a classic car. He works, but he ain't reliable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you know, you never know what's going to go wrong. And it's one of them things that you think, oh well, what's going to go wrong next? And yeah, Kenny, what do you reckon on this one, mate? Jesus, 30 mil.
Off, you know what? If you can get that money, that's fantastic. Fantastic money. It's fantastic business. And there are, if West Ham are serious, well, their fans are going to want some answers, and Everton are serious, their fans are going to want some answers. But from an Arsenal point of view, it's a shame. It's a shame. Injuries have curtailed his career. Arsenal, without a shadow of doubt. You know, he's just never got off running. You know, the first knee injury was catastrophic, and then afterwards it was just like coming back and then going out again. Yeah, you have to get rid of players. It's the same with Kieran. Unfortunately, you know, we saw the best of Kieran up to a point, but when he got injured, it was a case of like having to let him go. But unfortunately, the team moved away from Kieran. I'm not sure it's moving away from Jesus, but when you got someone like Kai Havertz, who the manager sees as tactically important, you bought your Gyökeres, the team's probably moving away from him as well. So it's good business. But it'd be nice if we can get him back to playing some games for us, so we actually can give West Ham and Everton a player that looks as brand as new, because that's the best way to put a player in the shop windows, by playing them.
Worries me.
I know you don't want to risk injury, but are Everton and West Ham going to pay £30 million for a player that last played in December 2020?
That's just what's it about. I mean, I don't.
It's talking points, but eventually he can't stay there forever. He's either going to be a sale or he's going to be paid to leave.
Good comment here from Topside Highbury. I feel Jesus, Havertz, and Odegaard's wages were always on Berta's hit list. Yeah, that's an interesting comment, to be fair. Hendo says no top tier team will want to sign Gabriel Jesus, not with those knee injuries. Well, that's what I'm just saying. It's a weak link now, isn't it? It's a weak link. They'd never get the insurance for him. Yeah, it's a fair point. Lenny says, if you sold Havertz, how much? Well, who knows? But there's a question for us, boys. I think it's a great question, actually. Dale says, here's a challenge for you, boys. If you could pick a player from every decade in a team of 11, who would you pick? Club or world? Now, there you go. Shano, do you want to start on that one? Do you want to go goalkeeper first?
Goalkeeper. So we start at the oldest decade and then move forward, or you can just pick any goalkeeper you want and then that decade's crossed off, is it? You could pick a player from every decade in a team 11.
Club or world?
Okay, from every decade.
Anyway.
So just any goalkeeper. Well, for me, this changes for me sometimes, but I often think that for a goalkeeper, that Peter Schmeichel changed the game with the way he played. I think he was a different level of goalkeeper that I'd never seen before. Nothing had been seen like him. The long throwouts were even original. The star dive he did was original. So for me, he's up there as the best keeper of all time. Obviously, you have your Yashins then and people like that we haven't seen enough of, that were unbelievable. The Dino Zoffs and people like that. But for goalkeeper, for me, I think Schmeichel changed the game. I think if you have Schmeichel in goals for your team, prime Schmeichel, and a good defence in front of him, you're right up there. So I'd have to go Peter Schmeichel for me.
I'm going Dino Zoff myself.
It's a toss-up.
Well, if I was to pick my team, I'll go sort of like 50s and 60s and go Lev Yashin.
Yeah, Yashin's up there. Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. Right, let's go right back. Shano, right back. Anywhere. Around the world, don't matter. Club,
Cafu for me, man. Cafu for me was different level. Absolutely different level. Cafu was he was unbelievable. You know, I'd give Brahma a shout. I know he played left back a lot as well, but he was right footed. But yeah, Cafu for me was just different level. And he was one of those right backs that could attack relentlessly, but he was also a top class defender as well. He was unbelievable, Cafu. So I'd go Cafu. Cafu for me.
I agree with you on that one. I could also jump in with another one, but no, I think Cafu is a different level. Ken?
Well, if I was to go for a right back, I'll go back to sort of like the 80s, early 80s, the West Germany team that won the Euros in 1980 and got to the final in the 82 World Cup final against Italy. I'll go for Manny Kautz, who played for Hamburg and West Germany. Yeah, he was a very good right back, and he could put some good crosses in as well. So yeah, because Shane's Nick Cafu, I'm going to have to probably go Manny Kautz and go with him, Manny Kautz.
Fair enough. Okay. Right, centre back then, Shano.
Beckenbauer for me. Beckenbauer was different classes. I know he's more of a sweeper, but Beckenbauer was just unbelievable.
Right. Nah, sorry, mate, not for me. Sorry, buddy. Can't go with that one. I'm biased. I am biased. It's got to be Arsenal player, man. Come on.
Tony Adams getting in?
Yeah.
There you go. He can play beside Beckenbauer, Jesse. He can play beside him.
Nah,
See, if you've got Adams, Jess, I'm going to have to go with foreign again. I'll go
with Adams, you want?
No, you can have Adams because we want to.
Franco Baresi has to get a shout. So
you just took the words out of my mouth.
Oh, sorry.
You took the words out of my mouth. The best man marking defender I've ever seen. He was only 5'10", but he had a good leap, and he could just read the game. I think, you don't have to be like 6 foot something to be a great defender. No. He was unbelievable. Cannavaro, you probably would have got a mention as well. But I'm going to go to Franco Baresi.
Oh, okay. Fair play. All right, then. Centre left back. Sorry, centre. You know what I mean?
The left side of centre back.
Yeah, left side.
Yeah, Maldini for me. I know he played left back as well, but at centre back he was unbelievable in the latter part of his career. I'd put Maldini in there if we're looking for a left-sided centre back. There's many I'd put in. There's many that I would put in, but just I need to get one of those Italian defenders in there, so I have to put Maldini in.
I'm going to go for left centre back. He actually was the first sweeper in the 1960s. He was sort of like the architect of Catenaccio, Helenio Herrera, an international nowadays. So everyone knows I'm going to go for Facchetti. He's the first. He could play centre half, but he could also play left back as well. But he was one of the ones who first brought the ball out the fence and was an attacking defender. So yeah, God bless his soul, he's not with us anymore. But Facchetti.
Yeah, well, yeah. Mr. Pads has got it right. Carlos Alberto, mate. I first saw him as a little kid. 1970 World Cup, Mexico.
What a player.
What a player he was, man. What a Carlos Alberto. We've got some good ones here. Giroud.
Nesta was excellent.
Yeah, we've got some good ones here.
We haven't even mentioned Puyol of Barcelona. Another one is just under 6 foot, but could defend.
Right, left back then. Left back. Come on, left back. Shano, left back.
You know what? For me, one of the greatest left backs of all time is Ashley Cole. He really was in that time at Arsenal. But I would have to just go. I want to go Roberto Carlos, but I want to put an ex-Arsenal player in. I have Maldini. I know I would have Maldini at left back, but I have him at centre back, so I'll put Roberto Carlos in just for the because.
Go on, Kenny.
He got 86 caps for England. He inherited the captaincy. He's very, very underrated. But Kenny Sampson was one of the best left backs we ever had. And I'm not talking about Arsenal, I'm just talking about England in general and in Europe. He was one of the best. So Kenny Sampson definitely will be my left back. But obviously, Roberto Carlos, of course, because again, from an attacking point of view, the free kicks, the way he was an extra man in the midfield, if needs be, and he got goals. He got goals as well. It wasn't just their ball situations. It was, and he played at the right club for him. Real Madrid, come on. Real Madrid, Galacticos, attacking football. Say no more.
Yeah, I was going to say Roberto Carlos, man. Absolute legend player. Paolo Maldini. Right, let's go midfield then. Right, midfield. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be very interesting now. So we're going to go a 4-3-3, right? That's our setup. 4-3-3.
That's easy.
That's our setup tonight. Right. Okay. Left midfield. Who are we going? Shano?
Zidane has to get in there. Zidane was just different class, man. Absolutely different class. And like Bergkamp, he had a nasty streak in him as well. He was a big lad. And a lot of it, you have to judge as well from when players are asked, like, who was the best ever. Most will say Roy Keane, and all will say Zidane was just a different. And he was just beautiful to watch. And he was a winner. And he was a winner as well. So Zidane for me. And I think that's the perfect position for him as well, that left side of the tree. I'll stick Zidane in there.
Me, I have to include the total footballer, born in 1947, no longer with us, chain smoking from Amsterdam.
Oh, what a legend.
Johan Cruyff. He was the architect of total football. He could play anywhere in the midfield or even, in the last, the front three. Absolutely fantastic player. And he's actually he actually wrote a blueprint of how football should be played. Well, how he wanted football to be played, and people will have looked at Ajax, Barcelona. Yeah, Johan Cruyff.
What a player.
Well, I'm going to be very controversial here. Very controversial. Right. One of the greatest left midfielders ever played for Arsenal Football Club was a certain Joe Hulme.
What a player.
Absolute legend player. Scored goals for fun, that guy. Right. Now, I know it's not on our timeline. None of us were alive, but I've read many, 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 many things about him. And a certain great manager, George Allison and Herbert Chapman, rated Herbert Chapman said he's the best left winger I've ever seen in my life. Now, if Herbert Chapman says that says it all, doesn't it, really? So no arguments. End of story. Anyway, right, let's go centre midfield today. Shano, centre midfield.
Yeah, holding it all together, just behind the other two. I'd have Pirlo. I think Pirlo was different class. Absolutely different class. Busquets would get a shout for that sort of modern in front of the defence, which you could look at players from the past, but it wasn't really ever used that way. If we're going for the 4-3-3 that we see today with the one holding midfielder and the two pushed a bit further forward, I'd have Pirlo, man. That guy was unbelievable. Unbelievable. I know DJB has him in like his top 5 of all time, and I wouldn't be far off. I think he another one that reinvented the game. A deep lying playmaker wasn't a thing before him. He reinvented it. Pirlo was just unbelievable, and a winner as well. I'd have Pirlo sitting in front of that defence and letting the other two do their thing going forward.
I think
I'm going to sort of build up a story because these players, I've got to give a reason why I'm choosing them. This guy, born to an Italian father in France, won the European Football of the Year in 82, 83 and 84. Played for Saint-Étienne, went to Juventus. France's, for me, rivals Zidane as France's greatest ever player, Michel Platini.
Took Brady's place at Juventus as well, didn't he?
Exactly. And most importantly, Michel Platini was one of the best goal scoring midfielders out there.
Yeah.
Top goals. Do you remember the Euros in
9 goals, didn't he? 9 goals in 6 games.
Got 9 goals in 1984 Euros. That's only when they had basically 5 matches in total. Now you've got
five or 6.
Yeah. So Michel Platini
crazy. Yeah,
was one of the most. No one talks because of the advent of Zidane. No one talks about Platini, but Platini won a trophy for his country as well.
Yep, their first trophy.
Exactly. Yeah.
There you go. Mr. Pads is agreeing with you there, Kenny Ken. Right midfield. Who we going?
Did you pick your holding midfielder, Jez?
We want to play good football. Yeah, I know.
Holding midfielder. Holding midfielder. That's a good one.
I've got one.
Cool.
He can play in defence. He played for Barcelona. He's managed in his country for Everton and Southampton. And he's managed Holland. And he's got a very, very good dead ball strike.
Ronald
Koeman.
Frank Rijkaard as well would be a shout.
Frank Rijkaard's another one. I'm going to change my mind. Sorry, Shane, but yeah, Frank Rijkaard. Yeah, because
you can put Platini on the right hand side.
Well, you can play anywhere, really. But Frank, I stand to be corrected. Yeah, sorry about that, Shane. Yeah,
I'm going to go Steven Gerrard.
Nice.
Fantastic footballer, fantastic player.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Unbelievable player.
I thought he's one of the greatest Liverpool players in all time, personally.
Yeah. He's unbelievable. Could do everything.
Can't deny that.
We'll move on.
Right side at midfield.
Right side midfield. Who are we going to go with this one? Crikey, I'll tell you what, I've got a few here.
Yeah, me too.
I think I've picked my 3, innit? I've picked.
You have, yeah. You got Platini, Rijkaard, and
we've got really a front 3, haven't we?
Who do I
pick right midfield?
No, you and me haven't. You and me haven't.
You go for you. Go on, Shano. You go.
Okay, so I already have Pirlo holding it in the holding midfield, and I have Zidane on the left. I was going to go Platini as well, but since we've already covered him with Jez, it was a toss up actually between Platini and Boksic, the Hungarian Boksic. He was unreal from the Golden team. Went a bit under the radar because of the Puskasses of this world, but he was just from what I've never seen him. But I studied football for the whole life, and I have a massive love for that Hungarian team that should have won a World Cup but didn't. But he was just, from what I've read, from what I've heard, one of just the greatest central midfielders that's ever been. So for me, Boksic gets into my midfield alongside Pirlo and Zidane.
Okay, right midfield. I'm controversial again. I'm going Jairzinho.
Oh, what a player!
What a player!
That's every game in the 1970 World Cup.
Yeah,
unbelievable, unbelievable player.
I'm old. I remember these. I remember watching him. Black and white TV. Kenny Shano. Right, mum and dad at the week. I wasn't allowed in the school week, but Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. No, not Sunday night. I was allowed to stay up and watch the first ever World Cup. I was privileged to see from Mexico, and it was crack. Do you remember the old crackly black and white TV?
Yeah, because I think color TV obviously came to this country in 1967. It was kind of in America around 1959, but around the sort of like late 60s, programs were made in colour. But yeah, colour TV in this country was in 1967. However, majority of people in this country, up until probably the mid 70s, still had a black and white TV. So yeah, I mean, I hear what people are saying. Lothar Matthäus, one of the best players ever, one of the best midfielders.
Yeah.
But if we were to go to a front 3, I've already picked me front three, but I can't wait for you to hear it.
We did. None of us put Maradona in midfield.
Wait till you hear my front three.
I'm going to have to squeeze him in. I'm going to have to squeeze him in up front.
Wait till you hear my front three.
My first, I remember like the first time we ever got a colour TV, right, multi-broadcast. Remember, you used to rent your TV, didn't you? For Reader Fusion, multi-broad. Anyway, long story. I remember it was Christmas Eve, right?
What year?
1970. This was 1970, right? Christmas Eve. No, 1971. I lie. I beg your pardon. It's 1971. It's the year we won the double, right? And this van multi-broadcast turned up. These two blokes come in with this TV, and my dad hadn't told any of us that as a Christmas present to my mum, me, and my sister, he'd rented. You didn't buy them. We rented them, if you remember, a colour TV, right? And these guys turned up, set it all up, and they put a new aerial up to get colour, and all that. And we were sitting there I'm like, wow, his grandstand was on, right? Yeah. And all that. And then just after grandstand at 5 o'clock was Doctor Who. John Pertwee, right? And it was Doctor Who and the Yetis, right? And how old was I then? I was 10, 11. I was 11. And I remember it come on. Me and my sister were sitting there, and my sister got so scared she went and sat behind the sofa because it was in colour.
Yeah.
Right? And it wasn't great colour. I always remember that. I never forget that, because my dad did that as a family present for us to watch. But the thing is, back then, not all the, even though you had a colour TV, not all the programs were in colour.
They were made for it. Yeah, they weren't made for it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it wasn't until 1975, 76 that what was it called? The snooker program, Pop the Black, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, Pop Black. That was Pop Black was first. Actually, it was the BBC's One's first show in colour because of the snooker. So the first Pop Black was in 1969.
If you remember the old commentators go, it's because it's broadcast in black and white. You go, if you're looking at home, the black is behind the pink. And
they had to say that.
Yeah.
It wasn't until Alex Higgins till they really started showing it in colour. He brought the common man watching it, so they had to start showing it in colour then regularly.
Anyway, let's do our front three. We've got a 4-3-3 here tonight. John Watson.
You'll be shot to my front three.
Hey?
You'll be shot to my front three.
Right, let's go front three then. Right, okay. Let's go left. Left midfield, front three. Who are you going to go with, boys?
I'm going to put Johan Cruyff out the left of the three. It was a toss-up between him and Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho was just a different level of player. But for what Johan Cruyff... Again, a lot of my players will be players that, for me, changed the way things were. Johan Cruyff changed football. Like Schmeichel changed the goalkeepers and stuff like that. But Johan Cruyff was just unbelievable. You could have put him, like Kenny said, you could have put him up front. You could have put him left. You could have put him right. You could have put him across the midfield. But for me, I always liked him out the left. Sure, the most famous footage of him doing the Cruyff turn against Sweden when he put your man on his arse, he was out the left. But Cruyff goes out the left for me, just over Ronaldinho.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you that. So you go with who? Just Shane, who? Just sum it up.
Oh, sorry, Cruyff. Johan Cruyff. Johan Cruyff goes out the left for me.
Yeah, we can't go here, mate. Kenny Ken, who are you going with? Right.
Diego Maradona. Left wing, Diego Maradona.
Yeah, I'm putting him out the right.
I've got nothing. Diego Maradona, if I go by the conventional sort of like wing players, it's got to be Diego Maradona.
Yeah, well, I agree with you, mate, but I'm going Messi.
I understand that.
Going Messi, mate. Great player. Right, okay. Before we go centre, who are we going on the left here, boys?
Oh, no, sorry, left. So we were doing right hand
side.
I've
gone left, Maradona. You went the right.
Yeah. Right. Oh, sorry. All right. So, all right. Shane, you went right. Kenny's gone left.
No,
yeah, well, he's put Maradona out the left. I'm going to put Maradona out the right and Cruyff out the left. I'm going to have the two of them cutting in.
Fuck, I'm getting confused now. I'm getting confused.
Yeah, right. I think we're used to inverted wingers, but I'm going to go conventional. My right winger. Sorry, I have to go with the little bird, Garincha.
Oh,
I have to go with the little bird.
No.
The little birds, I have to. I can't do anything else other than go with the little bird, Garincha.
Like it.
Okay. So where are you going now? Then Shane, I'm confused.
Sorry. Yeah, I have Maradona out the right, and I have Cruyff out the left. So I'm going to go with the inverted wingers. So I just want Maradona. I could have put him in midfield, but I just want him being as forward as possible. I think Pirlo can hold it all together while the five of them go attacking.
Right.
So I'll have Maradona out the right, Cruyff out the left. Right.
Well, I went Messi, right, out there, and I'm going to go centre. There's only one player here for me. Only one player, and that's Pele.
Same here. Same here. Snap.
Yeah. Not for me.
That was unbelievable.
I could only go with those three. Pele has to play up top. He's just too good.
Yeah.
No, I was a toss-up between Pele and Van Basten. And I just thought Van Basten was if we're just as a striker, a lone striker. If we were playing two up front, Pele would have been a shoe-in. But just because it's a lone striker, I just thought Van Basten was the most complete striker in the history of football. He had everything, absolutely everything. That guy.
You know what? It's a crying shame. You know what? He actually killed his own career because it actually happened in around 1986. He was actually going for. He went for a ball he had no right to go for, and it was a game against Groningen where he'd done his ankle, and they thought that he would never play again, and he played again, but it was never right. If you remember, he was injured for the 87-88 season, and played for Holland. And then all of a sudden, it was a case of play, injured. Yeah, it never was right. But to play that amount of games and score that amount of goals, despite he was playing on one leg.
Three Ballon d'Ors before he was 28.
Can you imagine if
different level?
Imagine the amount of goals he would have scored if he didn't F up his ankle.
And he was quick as lightning as well, Kenny. For a big lad, he was quick as well. He was quick.
With a damaged ankle.
Yeah. Both feet, head, everything, bicycles, everything you need. Look, Pele's a better player, but Pele's a much better player. Pele, to me, it's still the debate will always be Maradona or Pele. I think Messi comes into it then as well, of course. But just literally the formation alone, I've tried to just even it out. If I could have named. The funny thing is about this, though, lads, if we were given time to think about this, our teams might be even different. You know what I mean? Because when you have time to think about it, you go, oh, well, I can't have to put him in, I have to put him in, I have to put him in.
You know, it's when we were given the option of playing a World 11 every decade, it gives you the opportunity to put, Pele, Cruyff and Maradona in the team. If you were given the opportunity of saying, right, the last 10 years, last 20 years, it kind of makes you pick players that are probably more relevant to the football we've been seeing, and you could go down the sort of like the inverted forwards because they're not wingers anymore. Saka is now called a forward. Eze is a forward. Mane is a forward, even though they play like wingers. You know what I mean?
Don't get it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've got Dan's show in about a minute or so. Yeah, so
crack on, mate. We'll wrap it up. We'll wrap it up.
Yes, I just wanted to.
Thanks for joining, as always, Shano. What you got coming up, my friend?
I have what day's today? Today's Tuesday. So obviously the breakfast show tomorrow. Then I have Clean Through 101 with Views at 5:00. We do that every Wednesday. Obviously then the Bruised Banana Thursday night, and then that new show that I'm starting Off Topic on Saturday night, which I'm hoping.
What time are you doing it?
On Saturday's 8:30. 8:30.
Are you on it with Jet? Jez, are you on it?
When's this?
The new show on Saturday. I said Jez, he said
Guys. Like as I said, it's got to be an IOU at the moment because I want to because I don't know if anyone's coming over, but I'll definitely if no one's coming over, we're gonna do this again. Are we talking about new rules?
Yeah, no, that's the topics. It's going to be rules you change, rules or
Hey, you've got a
rules you
referee
create.
there, haven't we? You've got a referee,
Yeah.
Jez.
Or laws. Sorry,
No,
Jez. Laws.
I said Shane, change it to the laws.
Laws.
Oh,
Laws.
sorry, laws.
Yeah. So what I'll do is then I'll say a panel of 5, whatever laws you change, and then everybody will talk about the points that they make, because there's a couple that I'd love to change, or new ones, or ones that you'd alter, or ones you get rid of, and they'll just sort of bounce off each other's points then. And every weekend it'll be a new topic like that, so it's not about
there's
current events.
one law I'll change, but it's going to be very. Hopefully, I'll be able to make it, because it depends if we've got visitors. We've got visitors. I'm going to be in deep muck if I try it on. But there's one law. Tress won't agree with me on it. But we've got to save it for Saturday, Jez. Sorry, mate.
There you go.
But there's one thing me and Jez don't agree on. We agree on quite a lot of about the laws, but there's one law that I just think, just making a decision, stop pussyfooting around. It's either that or not. It's either that or not. And then once you take away like I said, the variables, you just make a decision. I'm sick and tired of that. I'm sick and tired of every time we have to go through. But if I say anymore, I'm giving it away. But you know what I mean?
Leave that.
Yeah. There should be a few. So everybody will have their own ideas, and then we'll talk about each person's, and then next week. Then
the only thing is, Shane, there's a problem. Because I will always be right about the laws of football.
No. Yeah. That's the whole point. It's not about being right and wrong. It's just a discussion, Jez. It's just going to be a discussion. That's all.
On a serious level, though, I think the incidents we've seen over the years, I think that it will stop everything. All right, it might alter the way people behave, the way people act on the field, but that's tough luck. Be fair and just say, right, that's it.
So, Kenny, before you wrap up and go to Dan's show, Mems is challenging. I've done the quiz. It's ready. Man United, Arsenal.
I'm ready when he's ready.
So, I can do it when it's convenient for you boys. I can do it anytime. You tell me when you're free.
Okay.
Can't do this week because of the football Thursday.
Can't do it this week, and the week afterwards. I don't know, because you can't remember. You got your shows as well, so we've got to really realistically pick a day, haven't we?
I'll tell you what we could do. Right, Shano, if you want to participate with this one. We could do it next Tuesday as the old school show. And
all right.
And we could do it's an Arsenal Man United quiz show. Shano can jump in with that. I'll get in try and get Kyle, but he's a nightmare. He don't know his bloody Instagram. So maybe next Tuesday we'll do the Arsenal Man United all-time quiz. 30 questions about Arsenal Man United.
Lovely. I'll send Kyle a message on WhatsApp.
See, the thing with Jess, your questions are going to go back to.
No, I haven't. No, I haven't. No. It's all.
See, I have to admit,
for me.
No, it's all from the 70s to modern day.
Oh, thank God for that, because I've
gone to the 30s, 20s, 40s.
I have to admit, Jez, when it comes to Man United, I can only go back as far as the management duo of Sir Matt Busby and Jimmy Murphy.
Yeah, it's all there, mate. No, I've only gone back.
That was in the 50s. I can only go back to probably about 1955 up.
I ain't gone that far.
Oh, thank God for that, yeah, because...
No, it's 70s up to modern day.
One thing I will say before we go, and this is for Mems Creamer. Duncan Edwards could have been the best player we ever produced.
Yeah, I read his book actually. His biography. I've read it.
He could play anywhere. He was like an English Johnny Charles. Remember John Charles, who could play in defence and can play up top. When he left Leeds and went to Juventus, isn't it?
Juventus. They still have a statue of him. They still have a statue of him outside the ground.
I think Duncan Edwards was better than Johnny Giles.
Well, I'm just going to say to Mems, it starts in the 70s, Man United and Arsenal.
Get studying, Mems. Get
studying, mate.
Go back and do a little bit of research. You've got till next Tuesday, and we're going to do that quiz. So, yeah, go back. They're not horrible questions. They're actually quite basic, to be honest. To be fair, they are. I haven't gone stupid. But
that's right, yeah.
30 questions, people. 30
I'm
questions.
looking forward to it, you know. I'm actually looking forward to it because I think I'm a football tragic, but of course I'm going to have to prove it next week in the quiz.
Well, we'll get in if Shane can contact Kylo.
Yeah, I'll give him a text.
He's a fucking nightmare to answer his thingy bob.
Does he work nights? Does he work nights though?
He works out hours with coach driving, so he could be nights, could be mornings. It's always mad hours.
I'll contact Darren as well, get him in, and we'll go from there. And we'll see what happens. We'll do it. 6:30 next week. Yeah, have some dinner. Get the old brain fodder going.
What time are we talking? 6? Normal 6, or you want to do it later?
Up to you. Don't mind. Up to you,
boys. We do normal 6?
I don't mind. It's easy for me. I really don't mind.
Yeah, normal 6 then. I've got it penciled in there.
Right, 6 o'clock next Tuesday, Mems. You've got to come on camera though, mate. None of this not show. Well, you have to show your face, but you've got to be on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You want to see his hands?
Yeah, because it's not fair. Yeah, it's not fair otherwise. We got up in front, whatever. Anyway, people, we're going to get out of here. Shane Oak, Kenny, thank you very much for joining. As always, absolute bloody legend.
Thanks for having me on.
Oh, it's a pleasure, man. Always.
I have to admit, I really enjoyed this show because sometimes when you talk about Arsenal, you know, sometimes we forget we actually love football as well.
Yeah.
True.
You know what I mean?
That's a great question that was put in that made us go down the road.
Yeah.
And that is what is great about this, because people contribute and they give us a different opinion, and then we go down a total deflection. I had other things to talk about, and we're not going to talk about it. I don't give a shit, to be honest, because anyway, we're going to get out. Kenny, you got to go. Shano, legend, as always. Thank you, mate.
Thanks for having me up.
Always a pleasure with you, Kenny. And let's go.
No, I love this show. I love it. I'm part of the. I wouldn't say the furniture, but I'm part of the ornaments. You know, like the best ornaments out there, 24-karat gold ornaments.
Yeah, I love it. I love this show. It's all fun.
Yeah, it's good. I love it. That's, you know, I'm glad you invited me.
Yeah. Now that's what I'm hoping for the Saturday thing, where it's not just about, it's not about what's going on with Arsenal. It's just an interesting subject, and we can just talk about football, man. Just get back to the love of football.
Yeah, I'm not saying about every Saturday night, mate.
No. Jeez, no. I wouldn't hold anyone down to a Saturday night. It's a mad night to be asking people.
Because I go matches, it's hard for me as well.
No, that's why I'd always send a text early in the week, and if you can do it, you can, and if you can't,
it's got to be obviously if I can't go to a game, and obviously I've got to be fair to my wife as well, because
of course,
if I don't go football, I go boxing.
Nobody's getting held down to it. I'll send out texts.
I like to attend this one.
Saturdays, of course. The other thing on Saturdays, of course, is if it's a match day, we got the fan cams on Lee's. That can happen any time between 3 o'clock and midnight. So,
well, I think I better go, innit?
You take care, boy. Take care, guys. See you later.